lottery tickets. I think we're talking mostly investment today. I mean, maybe you have lottery tickets for baseball. Um,
No,
so,
I just have a nice short and sweet baseball summary for you after your
so,
basketball.
so you want to go on the tirade of one football and a ton of basketball right now?
Yeah,
All
hit
right.
it, and I'll be quick.
All right. All right. So I'll go first here. I'm going to start with the one football that I have, and that's Kyler Murray. For those of you that are listening, fantastic. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, we have charts that we're going to be talking about. So, first is Kyler Murray 2019 Prism PSA 9 and PSA 10. I think both are good deals. Nines you're getting right now for less than $100. He has Hopkins. They got Green. They picked up a couple of other weapons in the offseason. Now's his time. If he's gonna show up, they improve the defense a little bit. If he's gonna show up, hopefully it's this year. There's a tremendous dip on his stuff right now, so I'm looking to acquire. The thing that I'm looking at most is tremendous support for the price in the $80 to $100 range. So in both places back in June of 2020 and then early 2021. So I'm looking to buy Kyler Murray right now. We can take a look at the 10 real quick too. Same deal. It's more expensive, so depending on what your budget is, but both populations are in the low 2000s, and there's support at the price levels where things are at. I mean, right now you're about $400 on the PSA 10. There is support between 350 and 400, so I think this is definitely a solid football QB, low risk, high reward play. Especially that we're sitting in the lull in the off season. Buy it now or wait a little while. I don't think there's going to be tremendous jumps on it until we start to see guys take the field.
Yeah, and then you mentioned that, and just this week alone, I've seen a couple, from some other products, PSA 10 Murray's popping up, and my first gut instinct looking at the price was, wow, it's a nice price.
Yep, 100%.
So
percent
sounds like that's where it's headed right now.
Yeah, I love Murray right now, as far as the technicals on the cards. As far as the charts are concerned, and if he shows up and plays, and the Cardinals win some games, and he has good stats, you should easily be looking at a nice jump from him. Next, we're gonna jump into all basketball. LeBron James, and there's a couple that we're gonna look at here. So what I'm looking at on both of these opportunities is the PSA 9s. There are PSA 10s out there, obviously, but and try to put it into price ranges that most people may be able to afford. But with the PSA 9s for LeBron, you have low population. I'm looking at the 2003 Bowman Rookies and Stars, and then we'll look at 2003 Topps Chrome. But you have support in this area on this chart in the $1,300-$1,400 range. That's where you're at now. So if you can get this card for around that price, definitely looking to do that. He has Space Jam 2 coming out, and then he's coming into the last year or two of his career. Now may be the best opportunity for you to get his cards while he has still an opportunity to win another title, and then eventually he's going to retire and go into the Hall. So you have to imagine at some point these cards will hit a bottom and only go up from there as he goes into retirement in the Hall of Fame. So we'll take another look at the Topps Chrome card. Also PSA 9. Population's definitely higher on this, closer to 3,000. But same, almost identical looking chart. Actually, this is actually a lot more expensive than I thought. At $4,000, I thought this was going to be around the same price as the Bowman, but it's not. And the reason why I'm staying away from the Topps paper is just the population on that is super high. You're already at 4,200 plus whatever's sitting at PSA. The charts look the same, so if you want to take a shot on this, I just don't know if you'll have as much upside, just because the populations are a lot higher. So, but the Topps paper PSA 9 and the Topps and the 2003 Bowman Rookies and Stars, both around the same price for PSA 9s, around that $1,000 to $1,500 range. And you should be able to get in right now with low risk and much higher rewards.
What are some of the highs on those type of cards?
So
Recent highs.
the recent highs
Or
on
the most recent time it spiked.
3250 on
Oh,
this.
so you're looking double.
Yeah.
Okay.
If not more. So 3250 on this back earlier this year, a couple months ago. And so there's definitely upside there. It's LeBron. He's gonna be regarded as a top 3 player of all time. But the thing that you gotta just try to make sure is you're buying cards that have as low pops as possible. And this card already is at 4,200 in the PSA 9, and you got to figure there's at least another few thousand of those sitting at PSA right now. So that's my only concern as far as whether or not you'll see the upside, just due to the scarcity, and people in the hobby are running from high pop cards like the house was on fire.
What if I'm going to keep it forever?
If
I
you're
want
gonna,
to drop for a 03 Topps Chrome. Is that a good price, even at $4,000 compared to
I
its
think
peaks?
I think so. You're at least the PSA 9. I mean, your peak on that is 3x at 12 grand, and your pop is still at 3,000. So
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. We're gonna talk about a few others that are a lot less, but this card could sink a little bit lower. So if you can get it for less than 4,000, you're getting it around 3,500. I would like that price more than $4,000, just based on what you're seeing historically. 3,000 to 3,500. If you can target that, especially if you're at like a show, I would hop all over that if you had the money. All right, hang in there. We got a lot to go. There's a lot of opportunities that I saw. A lot of these charts are similar, but we're gonna pretty much stay in the pre-2000 basketball. Allen Iverson, all the guys that we're going to be talking about are all Hall of Famers, and all of their charts look really similar. They all had massive spikes earlier this year, and all have come down to where everything was, back, basically September of last year. And, I don't think that these cards are going to sink back to where they were in, 2018, 2017. I think, these areas, in 2020 are going to be the new supports, the new floors. And we've come all the way back here. So I think that, there's a great opportunity here. PSA 9, Iverson, population 2,400. Price, you can probably get it for around $300. The PSA 10 is about 1,500. And, Iverson, one of the top players of all time, Hall of Famer, $1,500, pop $679. So, I think that the market is going to start to see these opportunities and see these prices. And I think you're going to start to see people buy. And since there isn't like 15,000 of them floating around, it's not going to be, you can just go run out and buy one. It's going to take a little effort, and I think it's going to push the price back up. Next on the list, 1981 Larry Bird. We're going to look at a PSA 8. The chart looks almost identical to Iverson's, and all these charts look almost identical. Huge spike when the market spiked earlier this year, and everybody got FOMO, and now the price is all the way back down to 250. You can probably pick it up for 200. It's Larry Bird. So if you've ever wanted to add Larry Bird to your collection, his rookie card, definitely very affordable right now. Population 2,000. Even the PSA 9 is somewhat reasonable. You're seeing some support come in, between around $1,000. There's a couple sales right around $1,000. Solid buy, especially if you're a Bird fan.
This is card number 4.
It is card number 4. Yes.
You can get a BGS 9 for half price.
Well, you can get a BGS 9, crack it, and submit it to PSA, and then wait, a year. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Larry Bird also going to go down as some people put him in their top 5, top 10 of all time. So a card that has population 1,000, that you can get for $1,000 with one of the top players of all time. I think it's well worth it, and you'll eventually see that appreciate as people start to see the prices are this low and start to buy again.
Those PSA 9s are $1,000?
Yeah, the PSA 9 one sold on the 30th of May for $1,060. And then one sold on the 23rd of May for $1,200. And then you had a pop up to $1,600. So that may have been like a best offer type of situation. So it looks like at auction you can probably get it for $1,100 to $1,300.
And if you're like me, you like the BGS 9, those are coming in at just over $400.
Wow, that's a huge difference. BGS 9 at $400 versus PSA 9 at $1,200. That's a massive difference.
Yeah. And again, we've talked about this before. I mean, I personally, I don't know when it's going to turn, but I think, again, I always say is that BGS 9 is worth more than a PSA 9 for me. I know the secondary market disagrees, but yeah, if I'm buying this card, I'm looking at those ladders, and I'm going to check out a BGS too.
And I know that the hobby hall monitors out there, cringe at any time you hear the word crack the slab. But at the same time, if I can get a BGS 9 for $400, and if I crack it and submit it to PSA, and I'm willing to wait for it, especially with a 1981 Bird, and I could 3X on that, I'm going to take a shot. I would take a shot with 3 Bird BGS 9s and submit them to PSA.
Yeah, you probably get a 10.
You might. I mean, it's something that you could roll the dice with. I understand people that are the purists out there just, think that's absolutely abhorrent. And for those of you that don't know what abhorrent is, you can go look it up. But
for me, I get it. I understand why people crack cases, but then that's why I have a huge issue with sometimes on certain cards. I don't even care what the pop report says, because how many thousands might have been cracked open.
Yeah, I mean, and some of these cards, and if you really want to be the good person, you can call the grading company and tell them that you cracked it, and let them know, and they'll take it off the pop report.
You know how many times that's probably happened?
0.
That's correct. My favorite thing this week was, you made me think of it just now, was people posting their subs coming back from PSA, and all of them are like, oh, they're not giving out 10s like candy anymore. This is why I got a 9. The card looks perfect, but I'm getting 9s because they're trying to do damage control.
Yeah, I mean, right. I've heard some other. There was an interview with Nat Turner this week in PSA, and the interviewer brought that up and asked, like, hey, is PSA cracking down because there's so many 10s, and people saying that it's, and obviously they deny it, but
billion of them.
But there is a lot of anecdotal posts on social media saying that they are, the 10s are not coming like they used to. But PSA has said they are not going to go to halves, so that you won't see a PSA 9.5 anytime in the near future. And they also said they're not grading them harder, but it seems like a lot of people are complaining about it online.
Yeah, and again, at the end of the day, I think it's just because you have more people actually in the game right now, so you're going to have more people complaining when they don't get what they want.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly correct. You don't have a bunch of hardcore freaking dads, trying to build sets and do whatever. You got guys trying to make money and guys that
are... man.
You got guys trying to make money and guys trying to flip, and, a lot of people that are losing out on a source of income. People that were sending stuff off to PSA, getting 10s and flipping stuff. And, that seems to be a lot less easy than it used to be.
All right. That was a quality tangent. Where to next, sir?
We are moving on to 2003 Dwayne Wade. And we're going to look at Topps Chrome Dwayne Wade, pop 1,112. And the chart's almost identical to everybody else. You had the massive spike. You had the pullback. It's meeting in that support level of where the cards were back in mid to end of 2020. And it seems to be the trend right now in this market that people are moving away from high pop cards. High pop cards are falling. Like, they're going out of style, and people are looking to buy things that are more rare. So that's one of the other reasons why I think that eventually people will start to gravitate back to guys that are already retired, guys that are in the Hall of Fame, populations that are less than a few thousand, in certain cases less than 1,000, that not everybody and their mother has, and it's not on eBay or at every card show or whatever else, that they can buy and have something that they can stick on the shelf. So, this card right now, $300. If you can get it for less than 300, good for you. And then the PSA 10 on it, population less than 1,000, and you're seeing prices right around 1,500. So if you got the money, by all means, see if you can get it for a little bit less than 1,500. But Dwayne Wade, Hall of Famer, great career, good dude. Not a bad investment for long term. Price capped out at $5,000. So massive upside, especially as the hobby grows and people are going to invest in retired players.
BGS 9.5 at $600.
BGS 9.5 at $600. So once again, it's something known in the trading space or financial markets as arbitrage. Where you can buy one asset and flip it for another. And I hate to say it, but it's not a bad play. You can buy a BGS 9.5, crack it, and for, you said 600.
Yeah, one finished 550, one finished like 650. So I averaged it out.
So it's a chance that you take if you buy it for 600, let's just say 600, and you submit it, you get a PSA 9, you're going to take a loss. If you get a PSA 10, you're going to double up. So it's definitely an interesting way to flip if you want to take that chance.
We got to find somebody that does that. That's all they do. Crack it open. I want to talk to them.
I got to imagine there's people out there that if you know anybody that does that, send us an email, info@sportscardadvantage.com. There's got to be people out there.
That's great stones. I'd like to talk to that person.
I mean, if you want to roll the dice, it'd be some great content. At some point as we.
Well, I want the data.
Well,
I want to know how many W's he has.
I don't know if you're ever going to get accurate data on that, unfortunately, but it'd be an experiment that as we grow and make a little bit of money from this at some point in the future, we can take on those things and buy some of this stuff.
Like buy 100 BGS 9s, see how many 10s we get.
I would love to get that information. I mean, that could be tremendously valuable information. So
yeah, when everything's back to normal, time-wise.
Yeah. Next, Chris Paul, 2005 Chris Paul, still playing, still has a chance to win a title this year. We're going to look at the Topps Chrome. Also, right now, really reasonable. 285 on the PSA 9. A lot less volume. Pop 237 on this card. Chris Paul, future Hall of Famer, has had a great career. If he caps it off with a title, this should be a no-brainer. PSA 10 on this. Pop 234. And I mean, this thing is sunk like a stone in the last few weeks, but it's settling in, same price roughly, $800. You should be able to get it for right around there, and definitely something that could provide you a really good return over the next 6 months, especially if he they win a title or they go to the finals, and he's going to retire sometime soon. So should be a good investment going forward.
Very cool.
All right, I'm gonna. We're running a while here. I have a couple of others that I'm gonna just read off. 1998 Vince Carter, Topps Chrome, same deal as everybody else. Just look at where the support is on the chart, and then I want to talk about two, big name players. 2007 Kevin Durant. We're gonna look at the black Topps Chrome. PSA 9, Pop 1428. Right now, it bottomed at $1,000 about 6 days ago, and then after the Nets won a couple games, seeing it pop back up. Basically, look for a deal. Look for Nets lose a game, something like that, or he plays bad, or whatever it is. You may be able to find an auction that closes a little bit lower, but Nets definitely have a fantastic chance to win a title. That's another thing that he can add to his resume. But for a low pop PSA 9 Kevin Durant rookie, that if you can get it for less than $1,500, he will also go down probably as a top 10 player of all time. Should be fantastic long-term investment. And then one thing that really surprised me, 1997 Tim Duncan. Look at Topps Chrome. I mean, the population on this is a little bit high, 4,400. So that may be why it's so cheap. But, Tim Duncan, Topps Chrome rookie, top 20 player of all time, probably. You could get it for $200. So if you're a Tim Duncan fan or looking for long-term money on Duncan, it topped out at 5x where it is now. And the PSA 10s also just straight down plummeting and running into some support. So if you can get this one for less than $1,000,
what's the pop on the 10?
2,300. I mean, so it's definitely high. And
I'm loving those Chris Paul pops then.
Yeah, I mean, there are some of these out there that are less than 1,000, which I think are great opportunities. So I think right now, early 2000s and 90s basketball is fantastic investing opportunities. These things have gotten absolutely crushed, and it makes sense though. If you look at the numbers back in 2019, these cards $200, and then they hit 5,000. So you're talking literally 25 times. What is that? My math is terrible. What's 5,000 divided by 200? Is that
5,000 divided by 200? So you got 5 200s and 1,000, guy.
Oh, Jesus
times
Christ.
5.
Our fucking math teachers in high school are fucking rolling over in their graves right
25,
now.
guy. You're right. 25.
Yeah, okay, I was right. So you're talking 25 times your money in a year and a half. I mean, it's only logical that it comes back down. And even then, you're looking at something that's 5x where it was 18 months ago. 5x in any investing opportunity is a ridiculous return. So it makes sense that this is going to create a new support, a new bottom, hopefully right around these levels, and present people with some buying opportunities. All right, I'm going to take a breath, and I'm going to turn it over to you. What am I?
Yeah, speaking of buying opportunities.
What can I get you into today?
Well, you had asked me a lot, like many episodes ago, who I was buying like preseason stuff, and I was all over Jared Kelenic. So he came up and decided he can't hit at the major league level yet. So his prices came plummeting down. If you do the math on when he got called up to now, you're talking about buying dips. You got something to say? Or you're looking at something else there?
No, I'm looking. I'm bringing up his card right now. I have the 2018 Bowman draft. Is that something?
Yeah. I was looking at his Bowman Chromes.
Okay, I don't know if Bowman Chromes are in the. Here we go. Yeah, Chrome batting. 2018 Bowman Chrome batting is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I don't think we're far enough away on the charts. I don't think we're far enough away from his demotion to see a big dip yet on there. But the last few things that have closed across the board are really low. So it's not something I'm jumping on yet, but I'm keeping a very close eye on it because the like we talked about last week, the PSA nines are getting close to the raws, and we're talking some of the auctions are closing well below preseason numbers right now.
Yeah, so you're looking at recently you had one close PSA 9 for 46, and you're looking at raw.
Nines are up over 100.
Well, there's one that closed for $46.
No, I mean,
They were, you mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And raw, you're looking at one close for
The last one
30.
was at 28.
Yeah, 26, 28. So yeah, so they're pretty close as far as the PSA 9s and the raws.
Right, and my point was the gap is closing on them. They were much more, 2 weeks ago even there was a big difference between those two. But and now the other thing, keep in mind, a little eBay tip is when you're, and especially when you're looking at closed data, when you expect maybe some kind of event to change pricing, some of the prices that are closed after its demotion, if they were a 10-day auction and it got bid up early, that thing's still going to end higher than it potentially might have, if the person bidding it up had the information ahead of time. So you kind of got to let the dust settle a little bit on some of the auctions, just because, again, like I said, they get bid up early. You get the news or an event or a demotion or something where the price is going to change. You got to make sure you take that into consideration.
Absolutely. And, what's your overall outlook on Kellenick? I mean, do you think he stays in the Mariners organization and eventually comes back up? Do you think he gets traded?
Yeah, he'll,
Is
he'll be
he a
back up.
bust?
Nah, I mean, I have no idea if he's a bust or not. But I'm just playing the game of age, how well you're hitting in the minors, hype, blah blah blah. The fact of the matter is, he's back down. He's probably going to rake at AAA again. His price is going to plummet because he's hitting up 100 at the major league level, and he's going to come back up, and he has a hot streak, and the cards go right back up. So if you're holding on to him at this point, don't sell because you've already lost. I mean, I sold 98% of my Kellenicks the week he came up. So now I'm waiting, letting it go back down, and I'm definitely going to buy back in on Kellenick or Kellenick.
Kellenick. All right. Anybody else for baseball?
No, but if you
You have
listened
you
a
have a
couple
little.
weeks ago
Do you have
and
a
you
little I
bought in on
told you
Taylor
so?
Trammell,
You have a little I told you so?
no, no, I told you so. Just exactly what I'm talking about. Guy stunk at the major league level, still a nicely regarded prospect. He has nothing left to prove at AAA. He goes down. He hits $1 billion in AAA, and they bring him back up, and he's back up and in the starting lineup. And all of a sudden, his cards went up. His autographed PSA 10s went up 50, $75.
That was who now?
That's a 2016 Bowman Chrome auto.
Of Trammell?
Taylor Trammell.
Taylor. I don't even know if it's going to be in here, but we'll see. No. Card letters, like, yeah, right. Yeah, I may get an Allen Trammell, but yeah.
Bunk Ladder has him.
Bunk ladder. Well, we'll see if we can see if we
That's
can
it on him. He's
subscribe
24. Either he sticks or that's it.
see if we can subscribe to Bunk Ladder, but
was-
it's not ready yet. All right. Anything else?
Nope. Keep watching Jared's cards. See, they're gonna go down more.
Yeah. Where's my short friend Wander that these days?
Wander's raking, man.
Let's take a little peek. We're gonna go off book here and take a little peek at some Wander just for fun. Yeah, he's raking, but his cards aren't. You can pick up. This is a Prospects Chrome. I mean, wow, the population on this is for a guy who has not taken one swing in the major leagues. Population 9,100.
On his Bowman Chrome.
2019 Bowman Chrome PSA 10. Population 9,100.
Jesus, what's that at? And you know how many of those are at PSA right now?
A shit
That is
ton.
prime time year in product. That's at PSA right now.
Yeah, the last two went for 203 and 217.
What was the previous high on that?
Three.
So the last spike high.
377 back in March. That was probably when he came up for spring training and, you know, played a couple games. That's probably where that spike came from.
Wow. And that number is going to climb. That 9,100 is going to be 10K plus easy very soon.
I mean, your paper prospects base, which has half the pop roughly, is going for 120. So it's not that much less than the Chrome, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, for some of this stuff with Wander, look for stuff that's going to be a little bit more rare. Yeah, the Chrome, the Atomic Refractor is selling for about $1,000. But I mean that
I have one of them, but not graded.
Yeah, the PSA 10.
I'm ready to sell. Second he comes up, it's all gone.
Yeah, the PSA 10 on that pop is 103. So anyway, all right. Let's keep moving. We're already running long here. We're skipping the sports card education section